Hi there, thank you for joining me today. This is Leah O'Brien from Honeybee Stamping and More. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the US, and in this video tutorial I'm going to show you how I made this fun fold card. I'm sure you've seen lots of these on Pinterest and the internet and so on and so forth, but I thought I'd share my version with you. At this time, I think we're about to have a huge storm. The skies are really, really dark, so I'm hoping I don't lose power before we're done. So to make this card, you need two pieces of cardstock. One piece is 4 1/4 by 8 1/4, and then a second piece is of the same cardstock, and this is Cajun Craze, is 3 inches by 5.5 inches. And then for the inside of the card, I cut a piece of very vanilla cardstock at 4 inches by 5 1/4. For the front, I used 2 pieces from the Gilded Autumn Designer Series paper. The striped piece is 2 5/8 by 4 1/8 inches, and then the acorn and leaves part is 2 7/8 by 4 7/8 inches. So first we have to do is score our cardstock. Start with the 4 1/4 by 8 1/4 inch, and on the long side we're going to score it at 5 1/2. And then on the 3 inch by 5 1/2 inch piece on the long side, we're going to score it at 1/2 inch. Oh, can you see the lights flickering? Oop. So I'm going to fold and burnish. And this is how the card is going to fold. So we need to adhere this piece to the backing of the card. And I used Terran tape for that. And I just put it close to the score line. Oh my goodness. And I just kind of eyeballed it in the middle. And make sure it's down. So I'm just going to use some Stampin' Seal to adhere this piece to the back of the card. So that's how our card's going to fold. And we're going to put some Designer Series paper on. I found it easier to open the card and turn it upside down so I have a flat surface. I'm going to use my multi-purpose glue. And then this piece goes over here. Okay. So I used the stamp set that I used to make this card for the sentiment, and then all the die cuts is the Arrange a Wreath stamp set and the Wreath Builder dies. So I used the partridge for the partridge, and then the oak leaf, I think that's an oak leaf, to cut those out. And then I cut 2 of the wreaths, and I only did this one here because I wanted to show you my new Stampin' Cut and Emboss to do the other one. This thing is awesome. I just wanted you to hear how quiet it is. Of course, I don't know if you can hear it over top of the storm that's going on out there, but it's like literally just one time through. If you remember with the Big Shot, some certain dies that are really intricate, you had to go through a couple of times and make sure it was at an angle and so on and so forth. That is not the case with this. So it was well worth the $120. And then this one has the added bonus of folding up. And for someone like me who has a small craft area, it's perfect. Second wreath. Now for this, I just put a few dots of glue. Oops, not quite like that. On opposite sides. It doesn't take much. So I will just remember where these 2 sets of glued leaves went. So, oops. And then I'll do the opposite for these. So, I use the die cuts. Okay, I had to take a little break. We lost power there for a second. So I'm going to put a little dollop of glue on the leaves. Then this little guy's going to sit right there. We'll use some dimensionals. Of course, I don't have any ready to go. I don't know if you all do this, but I do not waste any of this. I mean, there's a lot of dimensional, if you will, still left on this. So I usually just go around and cut them. I have one left in there. We'll use that one. Oops. Just pop him down there. Okay. There we go. So now we're going to do the sentiment. And the sentiment is a piece of Very Vanilla 3/4 by 3 1/4 inches that I'll mount over top of a piece of mint macaron that's 1 inch by 3.5 inches. So we'll stamp our sentiment again from the Arrange a Wreath, and I'll stamp it using Cajun Craze. We do the give thanks. I'm going to put it in the middle. And I'll go ahead and adhere this. You know what? I wasn't thinking. I have to cut it first. I'm going to use the Banner Pick-a-Punch. Love this thing. I think this is one of my first purchases from the mini catalog. And I use it all the time. Okay, so now we're ready. And then I'm going to grab some of these dimensionals that I cut. Place this now. You see, I wanted to place this kind of towards the center because I'm going to put a piece of ribbon over top of that. I'll use the basket weave that's in the new mini catalog. It is sold with this copper. This copper thread or ribbon is almost like, it feels almost like the braided linen that now is, you can get it in red, or it's almost like a crumb cake. Grab my ribbon snips. I use these specifically for ribbons and ribbons only. So I can get a nice clean cut. And then we'll adhere the ribbon using some glue dots. You can still hear the thunder out there. So because it's kind of just hanging off the edge, I'm going to put a couple more like under the tail of my ribbon. Just make sure it stays. And there you have it. It's our fun fold card. Storm and all. Oh, I forgot the embellishment. Put some basic pearls. There we go. Now we're all done. So there you have it. Thank you for joining me today. Click subscribe so you don't miss my next video. If you click the bell, then you'll also be notified of my next video. If you're interested in purchasing any of the Stampin' Up! Products that I used in this project, they'll be listed in the, they'll be linked in the description below. And I will also include a link to my blog post where you can find detailed measurements and more about this project. I hope to see you on my blog at honeybeestampingandmore.blogspot.com. Please leave a comment below if you want to learn about any other of my projects or if you have any questions about this one. Until next time, bye.